It's 2020 and I've seen a couple people drop videos on this and I was inspired to do the same. It's time for a refresher. These are my top 10 fragrances for life. Stay tuned. What's up everybody? My name is Joshua and this is our channel, ScentSense. To the loyal subscribers who continue to watch each and every day, to you kind folks at home or wherever you're viewing from, I'd like to say thank you. And to all you new people who are stopping by, I thank you so much. Membership is free. Stick around. Free 99. So a while back, there was a series that was started by Timmy from the channel Imagine Scent. He started this thing where he said if you could only keep 10 fragrances for life and you had to get rid of the rest, what would they be? If the event happened that I had to only keep 10, the first thing I would think of is, what else do I need besides fragrance? But if I got all of that taken care of and I had enough time to sit down and think, these are the 10 fragrances I would pick. Last time I did this, I did a niche list and a designer list. This time, we're just gonna do 5 and 5. 10 fragrances, 5 from the designer realm, 5 from the niche and indie realm, but these are the top 10 fragrances that I would keep if I could only keep 10. We're gonna start off this list with designer fragrances and I'm gonna go from cheapest to most expensive. Not that it matters, it's just easier for me to keep track of what I'm doing. Starting off the list is a fragrance from a clothing store. You know it, I've mentioned it a million times. Banana Republic's Vintage Green. Recently, I've been corrected. 1978 is the year that Banana Republic was founded. That's why this fragrance exists. Each one of the fragrances from the line were based off of a year that was important or pivotal in the life of Banana Republic. I would like to point out that they dropped that crap as soon as they made the new fragrances because they realized that not a damn person cared about the year. Just putting that out there. This is a green, fresh, revitalizing fig-based fragrance that is going to work any time of the year, but will definitely shine through in those spring and summer months, especially when it starts to heat up. If you're looking for an easy-to-wear fig fragrance or an easy-to-wear green, clean, fresh fragrance, reach no more for anything else but Banana Republic's Vintage Green. Next up is a fragrance from my favorite fragrance brand of all time, and this is actually my favorite fragrance of all time. I actually have 2 bottles of this, a big bottle and a backup bottle. It's the ultimate Swiss Army knife in my opinion. I wear it for every special occasion. We're talking about Versace's Pour Homme. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot left in this big bottle, so I went ahead and got me a smaller bottle because I'm of the life and thought that now I'm going with small bottles only. As my buddy Jake Copeland would say, hashtag 30 and 50 mil. This is my go-to fragrance. It's easy to wear, it's fresh, it's just a super all-around, all-purpose Swiss Army knife fragrance. If you're looking for something that's easy to wear and not gonna be hard in the pocketbook, look no further than Versace's Pour Homme. Next up on the list is my favorite fragrance from the Bulgari Aqua line. It is, in my opinion, the most overlooked and forgotten fragrance from the line, and in my opinion, also the best from the line. What we're talking about? Bulgari's Aqua Pour Homme. Bulgari's Aqua Pour Homme is a little more of a mature version of all the other flankers that come out. This is the DNA that runs through the veins of all those other ones, including fragrances such as Aquamarine, Aqua Atlantique, and the all-purpose, all-terrible lemon cleaner, Aquamara. Just my opinion. Calm down. This has a sea salty note that's added to those fresh blue fragrances that you know of. So think aquatic, salty, and fresh. This is something that's ultra unique in my opinion with that sea saltiness compared to other fragrances in the market that are blue fragrances, such as Versace Pour Homme, Versace Dylan Blue, YSLY, Dior Sauvage, the list goes on and on. Again, that is Bulgari's Aqua. Next up is a fragrance from the house of Christian Dior. This is one of my favorite fragrances from this line. It's one of my favorite fragrances from the brand. I often think, yet again, this is overlooked for a fragrance from Prada called Prada L'Homme. This one came out first. This is the one that inspired that fragrance, and albeit in my opinion, this one is just better. The more masculine iris fragrance, Dior Homme's Eau. Dior Homme Eau is an iris-based fragrance that smells super, super clean and fresh. This is a cotton linen white button-down shirt fragrance. This is something that's going to work perfect in the office. This is something that's just gonna work easy and it's not gonna offend anyone and you can't overspray it. From the house of Dior, Dior Homme Eau. Next up on the list is my beat up bottle. It's got chips in the glass. The cap looks like crap, but nonetheless, if I'm not mistaken, this has been discontinued. Not 100% certain, but that's what I've been told recently. And if it hasn't, well, you know what? Still love it anyway. From the house of Givenchy, Givenchy Play, Intense. Givenchy Play Intense is a super awesome, seductive, gourmand fragrance. Don't let the goofy bottle fool you. It's kind of about the size of an iPhone, and it kind of looks like an old school MP3 player. And for you folks at home who don't know what an MP3 player, before you had smartphones that played music, you had to have this little box that you plugged your earbuds in and you listened to music. I know, weird, right? Let's not even get started on cassette tapes and CDs. This guy right here is my all-purpose fall and winter fragrance. I think this is one of the best gourmands in the world, and it's one of the best fragrances when it comes to the months of winter and fall. From the house of Givenchy, Play Intense. Now we're gonna jump into the indie and niche fragrances. The first one is one of the most ultra-realistic mint mojito fragrances out there. It's super strong, it's super polarizing, and on top of all of that, it's one of the very few fresh fragrances that I own that is straight beast mode. From the house of Etat Libre d'Orange, we have You Are Someone Like You. You Are Someone Like You is an ultra unique fragrance from the house of Etat Libre d'Orange, which prides themselves on creativity and cool vibes. This is one of the most awesome mint fragrances on the market. If you're looking for something that's ultra unique, ultra fresh, and will last forever, and you can wear it pretty much any time of the year, but will shine through so well in the months of spring and summer, you should check out You Are Someone Like You by Etat Libre d'Orange. Next up is a fragrance from an indie house. This is from the house of Zoologist. It is the ultra realistic Camel. This is an ultra realistic take on a camel's environment, or the one place that we all know of camels to be, the Middle East. There are some great dried fruit fragrance notes in here, such as dates. This is one of the things that I love about this fragrance. If you could picture walking through a bazaar and smelling all the fresh dates and different things that they sell in a bazaar, this is what you would get. This one right here is so unique, so awesome. I really, really like it. It kind of gives me an idea of what it would be like to just, you know, be like, what's up, camel? Just walking by, gonna buy me some dates. How you doing? From the house of Zoologist, Camel. Next up is a fragrance house that often gets a little flack because they say it's not creative, it's not innovative, and it kind of just rips off other people. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, this is the best from the fragrance house, and it is actually the most unique because I haven't smelled anything like it. From the house of Parfums de Marly, we have Hobdon. Parfums de Marly Hobdon is a great apple pie, decadent, sweet, gourmand, heavy, sexy fragrance. This is not something to spray on yourself lightly, and I don't mean lightly in this amount of sprays, but actually don't just go ahead and balls to the wall this thing, because at the end of the day, this is a little bit strong, and this is something that might be slightly polarizing around people that you know. This is something that I wear to family get-togethers, especially in the holidays. I find that it works really, really well when people walk by me and say, man, something smells really good. What's in the oven? And at the end of the day, I'm not in an oven, but they're talking about me. If you're looking for something that's dense and sweet and gourmandy, that's gonna work perfect in the months of winter, and definitely probably something you shouldn't reach for in the months of summer, go ahead and get your hands on Parfums de Marly Hobdon. Next up from the house of Creed is my favorite summer fragrance, and it's my favorite fragrance from the line. It's often viewed as an fragrance and a not necessary fragrance because it kind of smells a lot like something you could buy for $11 at Walmart, which is suntan lotion. But in my opinion, it's much, much better than that. From the house of Creed, we're talking about Virgin Island Water. Virgin Island Water is summer in a bottle, in my opinion. You're going to get great notes of coconut. You're gonna get those summery vibes from this fragrance. This is something that I like to spray on in the early months of summer and just go out in the summer high heat and sit in a chair and smell it just bubble right off of me. This is a great fragrance if you wanna make a first impression and a lasting impression. You're gonna smell different. You're not gonna smell like everybody else in the room who's rocking Creed Aventus and Dior Sauvage. You should definitely check out this one from the house of Creed, Virgin Island Water. Last but not least is a fragrance that I recently got a backup bottle. And when I tell you why, you're gonna laugh at me. But it's mainly because I have OCD. The fragrance we're talking about is Oud Wood. As you can see, I do have a 100 ml bottle. It's got about 50 mils left in it. So I went ahead and bought myself a 50 ml bottle because at the end of the day, all of my other Tom Fords that I've recently received and purchased are all 50 mil. Because like I've said before, I'm trying to go with smaller bottles and be a little more reasonable. And when it comes to Tom Ford and it comes to going on a trip in Vegas, when you want to take pictures for your Instagram, you probably want all the bottles to be the same size. So I went ahead and got this bad boy. And by the way, if you're interested in checking me out on Instagram, my Instagram is ScentSense_. Yes, I know it's weird, but some guy out there has the tag ScentSense. He doesn't use it at all. I think he has 1 subscriber. So if any of you know a way for me to get that from him since it's not active, go ahead and leave a comment in the section below because I would love to know. Having said that, this is a fragrance that was suggested to me by Emmy Ever After, my friend Emmy from the channel, Emmy Ever After. This fragrance right here, in my opinion, is one of the sexiest fragrances on the market. It's not heavy in oud. Don't think what you're thinking. This does not smell like one of those Middle Eastern barnyard fragrances. This is not gonna be ultra realistic and oud. You don't have to like really try hard to like this. You don't have to feel like everybody in the room thinks you're trying to be some like pompous prick. This is smooth, sexy, alluring, quiet, but loud enough to let people know you're around. This is something that I will reach for when I'm going on a date night with my wife. This is my new date night fragrance. If you're looking for something that's sexy, this is it. And if I only had 10 fragrances left, this would still be my go-to sexy fragrance. From the house of Tom Ford, Oud Wood. All right, folks, that about does it for me. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, since you've made it to this point in the video, and that would lead me to believe that you've enjoyed it. And if you do go ahead and subscribe, right next to the subscribe button is a little bitty bell. It's called the notification icon. Click on that, and when my videos come out, you'll be the first to know. All right, folks, and as always, and most importantly, I'll smell each and every one of you later.